What's up everyone, welcome back to another video. It is my Game Week 22 team selection, transfers, captaincy, top tips, everything like that. So quickly to start off, let's have a look how I got on or I'm doing so far in Game Week 21. This is being recorded before the last Game Week fixture of West Ham against Norwich. So there is still players to play for me with triple West Ham. So we'll see how they get on, but this is how I've got on at the moment. I made two transfers, took a -4. As you can see, I sold James and King and I brought in Johnson and Antonio for their double. So let's hope that they return some points tonight. So starting off in defense, De Gea didn't get anything with 3 points, Cancelo 2, Trent with 4 with no clean sheet but an assist in Game Week 21. You made me doubt myself. That game week feels like so long ago now I'm recording this. I had to just check whether Trent did actually score 4 and how he got his points, whether it was a yellow card or what. But yeah, no clean sheet and an assist against Chelsea. Johnson got 0, taken off at half time, but I hope he's going to start against Norwich and hopefully a clean sheet for them there. In midfield, Son with 6 with an assist. He has picked up an injury and we'll talk about potential replacements for Son in just a moment. Bowen, captain, 5 double to 10, was very lucky to get an assist there, but Norwich still to play in Game Week 21. My captain, of course, hoping he outscores Antonio, but I'm not too hopeful. Antonio has looked very good recently. Bernardo Silva with a 5 and Jota with a 5 as well. Up front, we still have Antonio to play, 7 plus that Norwich fixture. Ronaldo blanked, very annoying. I thought they'd get something against Wolves, but Watkins, again, didn't feature with 0. He seems to have not been in the squad. He should be back for Game Week 22 though, but because he didn't play, I do get Reguilon off my bench with 6 points, so I can't complain. Very happy to be getting those points off my bench because when they did keep a clean sheet, I was a bit annoyed that he was sat on my bench, but no Watkins means I do get him in there. With this in mind, I do score 50 with a -4 so far, giving me 46 points overall. A game week rank of 1.6 million so far, but of course 3 players left to play, moving my overall score up to 1,327 and giving me an overall rank before this game week 23k, and I was absolutely flat at time of recording. Now I'm hoping for a green arrow. There's not very much that can hurt me unless Bowen goes and misses a penalty or something like that, so hoping to break into the top 20k in this game week. But that's how I got on. Drop it in the comments how you've got on so far. Fire away any questions that you have about your team from game week 21, about the double game week 22. Drop it all in the comments down below. But now let's move on to some potential transfers for the upcoming double game week 22. If you are enjoying, please do consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. We are getting so close to 15k subscribers. So drop any comments down below, like and subscribe and turn on notifications. It would be much appreciated. But the players that I'm considering transferring out ahead of the upcoming Game Week 22, I can't believe this. I did the same thing with King a few weeks ago and now I'm potentially doing the same thing again with Antonio. I'm looking at bringing in a Watford striker, Dennis or King, and we'll talk about them in a minute. But Antonio or Watkins will have to leave my team. Now, Watkins and Aston Villa could have a double game week in Game Week 23 because them and Burnley and them and Leeds have both been knocked out of the Cup. So they could play in that FA Cup 4th round weekend. Now, if I want to keep Watkins, but I still want to get in a Watford forward, then Antonio would have to make way. Now, he plays Leeds in Game Week 22, but then does have an away fixture against Manchester United in Game Week 23. So one of them could go. Odegaard could go again, a difficult fixture again this week away at Tottenham. They have a couple of blanks on the horizon, but then also, of course, Son. Now, he would have a double game week, but he is injured. Doesn't look like he's going to be back until Game Week 24, Game Week 25, so I do think we're going to have to sell him. You can see down below me, I only have 0.2 million in the bank and just one free transfer, so again, it would have to be a -4 or I have to pick one of these transfers to make. In terms of their replacements, in the midfield, Lookman, Moura, Maddison are all taking my eye. I could go up to the likes of Bruno Fernandes, Sancho are all on my radar as well. I do like the Leicester double game week, but there is a chance that they don't play given that they have their match against Everton cancelled in Game Week 21. Dennis is probably the Watford forward I'm going to go with, just partly because of how highly owned he is. He seems to be going against the grain every week, scoring points when King doesn't seem to be doing it, even though from a stats basis, King is probably better. So Dennis is probably the one, if he's fit and available and hasn't fallen out with the club for Game Week 22, he'll be the one that comes in up front if I was to make a forward transfer, and then either a Leicester midfielder or Moura into my midfield. So those transfers, a forward transfer of either Antonio or Watkins down to Dennis, and then probably Son out for one of those, Lookman, Moura or Maddison, and this would really help me free up the money to bring in Salah once he returns from the African Cup of Nations. So with this in mind, let's have a look now at how potentially I could line up for the double game week 22. As you can see right there, I'm predicting that I will make 2 transfers and I will sell Antonio and Son. I just think there's a big enough chance that Watkins and Aston Villa have a double game week in game week 23 that I don't want to sell them. They have a really nice run of fixtures after that as well. And I already have Bowen, but I definitely want a Watford forward in. So Antonio to Dennis, and then at the moment Son to Maddison. I am contemplating going all the way up to Bruno Fernandes for their double game week because they do have nice fixtures. And then I can bring in Salah straight away. I could bring in Salah for Maddison. It's just who I think will score the most points in game week 22 or 23. At the moment, it's Maddison, but it could easily be swung in the way of Bruno Fernandes. Of course, I'm waiting right up until that game week 22 deadline to make any transfers because of all the postponements that have been happening. Don't worry about price changes. I say it every video. Just wait and wait until that deadline. So, in terms of starting 11, we have David De Gea in goal with a double game week of Aston Villa and Brentford away. Don't particularly love the Villa fixture. Brentford have looked poor in recent weeks, but they're still scoring goals. I'm not that optimistic about a clean sheet here, but let's see what De Gea can produce. In the defence, Trent, of course, Brentford at home, single fixture, but a really nice fixture given how Brentford have performed in recent weeks and how great Trent has been. It seems he's back in training now, so the COVID scare that we had with Trent seems to have gone. Should be fine to play. Next up, Cancelo of Manchester City. Chelsea at home, difficult fixture, but Cancelo is capable of scoring points against anyone. And Manchester City beat Chelsea last time out 1-0, so clean sheet there and maybe an attacking return for Cancelo as well. And finally, we've got Reguilon, who has Arsenal and Leicester. Now, he seems to have a slight back injury, and Sessegnon is back in training, which is a bit of a worry. However, of course, I'm going to start him in my squad. Fingers crossed he plays both games, although I'm not that optimistic for a clean sheet in either of these games. But it is a double game week player nonetheless, and let's hope for some points from Reguilon. First up in the midfield, we have Jota. Again, a single game week fixture, but a really nice option with Salah and Mane at the African Cup of Nations. A lot of that goal-scoring threat now relies on Jota as well as Firmino, so let's hope for some returns for him in a great fixture against Brentford. Bernardo next. Again, it's a slightly more difficult fixture. He's not been that great. I am hoping to keep him though because after this week they do have a nice run of 3 good fixtures where Bernardo can hopefully return my patience of owning him. But Chelsea at home, I'm actually a Chelsea fan, so I kind of hope that Cancelo and Bernardo blank, but I need some FPL points as well. Next up, Bowen. So another single game week option. We have Bowen, Leeds at home. They have been very leaky recently. Leeds, they beat them in the cup as well with Bowen getting a goal. So hoping for some more points from Bowen there. He's looked so good so far this season and is such a great price as well. And finally, new transfer, Maddison, Burnley and Tottenham. 2 good fixtures, especially given that Tottenham is at home. I probably expect Leicester to score, and Maddison is always involved, which is why I've currently gone with Maddison over Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes is sort of tempting, but is it just because he's more expensive that I think he should score more points? Maddison has been on such electric form for Leicester in terms of goal scoring and assists, so at the moment, he's the one that I've gone with. Up front, we start with Dennis, new signing again. Newcastle and Burnley, again, good fixtures for him there. Expect goals from Watford in those two against 2 teams that are definitely weak defensively. Newcastle and Burnley have both conceded a lot of chances and Dennis seems to be scoring them. So what's the worst that could happen here? Probably a blank, but let's wait and see. And Antonio getting a hat-trick, given that I've just sold him. But next up, we have Ronaldo with another double game week. So Aston Villa and Brentford. Let's hope that they can turn around the form that they've shown in recent weeks. And Ronaldo has shown he did seem to pick up a bit of a hip injury. He wasn't in the FA Cup squad. Let's hope that he's fully back fit because he's definitely a captaincy option, and we'll discuss that in just a minute. But the final option, I am starting Watkins. Odegaard against Tottenham is first on my bench, with Johnson against Leeds second and White away at Tottenham last on my bench because I do expect Tottenham to score. Watkins definitely looked good in the FA Cup game. They've got Manchester United. They could have qualified in that game. They're a bit unlucky not to. Had goals ruled out. I don't think really should have been, but we'll leave that for another time. But I am hoping for Watkins and Aston Villa to continue some form, and with the signing for Coutinho could definitely do some damage against Manchester United. So that's how I'm lining up. But before we wrap up, we need to talk about the all-important Game Week 22 captaincy, which is slightly more open than we've seen in recent weeks. So for me, in my team, there are 3 real captaincy options. Maddison with their double. Dennis, again, 2 new signings, so are definitely captaincy options. And then finally, Cristiano Ronaldo. Now, I need to know whether Dennis and Ronaldo are both fully fit. Dennis, I'm pretty sure we've seen is back in training. However, Ronaldo, there is that slight doubt with his hip injury. Maddison, again, I need to make sure both those Leicester games are going to go ahead because they do have COVID injuries. They do have injuries, AFCON, it all going on, which means their game's getting cancelled. Quite how many COVID cases they have, I don't know. But that is enough to put me off captaining Maddison. And their double game week is probably the most difficult out of the three that we've got here. So that leaves Dennis and Ronaldo for me. Dennis is great, but his underlying stats are not that great compared to maybe some of the others. Ronaldo, it is a difficult, both away games as it is for Dennis. But at time of recording, Cristiano Ronaldo is my captain. Dennis will be my vice captain if I bring him in. Of course, no transfers have been made. Keep an eye on my Twitter. Keep an eye on the community tab for when I do make my transfers and decide on my captain. But Ronaldo captain, Dennis vice captain is the way that I'm thinking I will go at the moment. So that is my Game Week 22 team selection. If you have enjoyed, please do like and subscribe. Getting so close to 15k as I've mentioned earlier in the video. Drop any questions about your team in the comment section down below. We will be live for a deadline stream ahead of the Game Week 22 deadline. So turn on those notifications so you get a reminder when I do go live. Good luck in Game Week 22 if I don't see you before then, and I'll be back again very soon.